All right, day 6. Here we are. We've made it to day 6, and so far it's been great. Cutting this up, super fun. We so far we've spent about less than $50, and that was on some saw blades and a cheap sawzall. Um, Other than that, we haven't spent any money on this project yet. So luckily, we've had things laying around like tubing and stuff. So we haven't spent money on that kind of stuff. Next order, setting the cab on here. Looking at this, I know I've got 48 inches. That's how long my cab's going to be. So it puts me about right here, the back of the 58 cab to be sitting right where this line is, pretty much. So what I've got to do now is, since my bracing, my body bracing, my cab bracing is right here, I'm going to have to brace it up here somewhere. And once I get this braced, and then I can unbolt that and cut it, trim it, however I need to do to get it out of the way. And I think once I get that done, and then and then we'll start setting the cab on there and see if we can get that thing put on by the end of the day. So that's the goal. Let's see what we can do. Here we go. And the work begins. All right. Okay. Barely see what I did. Okay. Let me double check, make sure. That's my hole. Oh yeah, that's it. Well, not really. Okay, that's it, right? Okay, let me see. Let's do one more hole just for. That's more like it. That's more right there. Okay. Okay, so just let me catch up. We lost a little bit of microphone um, in the last. So basically, I made these. These are my body mounts. I just made them out of a couple of washers I found. I'm drilling a hole here. There's a brace that comes across here. I'm using that brace to make my new body mounts. I've got this where my bolt will go through. Once I tighten it up, I'll spot weld that like I did on the other side. You'll probably see it, but you won't hear it, but that's okay. As long as you know, and I know what's going on, and then we all know what's going on. So we're back to the same page. All right, everything has a reason and there's a purpose for everything. The reason I chose this area right here for my body mount is because the floor has a bracing underneath it that goes all the way across to the other side. So I figured if I strengthen it here, it'll be just as strong as my body mount that's back here located, see? And back here it's the same thing. There's a brace, and they're using the brace to put their body mount in. So we're doing similar. These are my body mounts because I'm just using what I can find. And the way it's going to work, this will be in between the floor and the frame. And then this will go through. And then this while it goes through the frame, and then we'll lock it in place. Now I know I'm using 3/8 bolts, but they're grade 8, so hopefully they're strong enough. I'll upgrade them later. This is just what we have in the shop. I'm not too worried about it. It's not going anywhere. So, okay, so now our body mount is tight. Everything looks good underneath. Our frame is holding our nut that holds the bolt, that holds the floor, and the bracing in place. So now, these 4 holes that I drilled out, I'm going to plug them, and this will work as a full-time body mount piece of the structure. So keep it strong and safe. Okay, we'll let that cool down. I'm going to go ahead and pull all these wires off. And once I get all these wires out, oh, look, easy. And then I can mark my line and cut this back half off. And we're one step closer to fitting our cab. So here we go. We know right now, what we do know is from our firewall to the back of the cab is 48 inches, 4 feet basically. Um, we get to the bottom of the floor and measure out 48 there, and we're roughly around this area here. So I'll mark another one on that side. We'll put a straight edge, mark it, and we'll cut right there first and see what happens. Hopefully there's nothing underneath it. I'll double check to make sure there isn't anything underneath it that's gonna mess up if I cut it. But if there is, I guess I'll move it when I'm ready. Let me see, 48 is about right here. All right, look at this. We've taken out that much out of the floorboard. So now, if you follow me, you can see our new mounts are here. This is still solid, it's not moving anywhere. And when our cab fits in here, we'll put our cab up against the body real nice, and then we'll start just to weld it in. And then make some braces, hold it in place, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. This is exciting. So now, time to clean up a little bit and see if I can get that cab over here. And the way I'm thinking, I want to keep this firewall, of course, holds on my stuff here. This truck from the factory had a huge cowl. This is where the vent goes for the AC. Of course, it held our wiper motor there, which we moved. But my thinking is, my mentality is, I want to cut this here and cut all of this out And basically my firewall, when you look from the side, my firewall is going to come up and then go back. And this is going to be, this back piece of metal will be attached to the 58. So that's what I'm thinking. Nice. Okay. When you take spot welds, this is how you remove them. I'm going to use this. And basically, you want to shave it down and you'll start to see a ring around it. Once you start to see that ring, that's when you know that it's came loose from this metal. So we're going to weld this bar into our inner fenders or inner dash. So here we go. You know what? It's time for a time lapse.